It's a special edition of Standards in the Spotlight right here on your nation station, DBS Radio. It's time to bring you the evening news on DBS.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is expected to be elected unopposed as leader of the Dominican Labour Party. In news from the region, 600 more Kenyan police officers set to arrive in Haiti in November. And internationally, Canada and India expel each other's diplomats as dispute over 2023 assassination escalates. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
What's on your back-to-school checklist? Fast, reliable internet, a free Chromebook, a smartphone. With Flow, you can check everything off your list. Sign up for broadband and get 25% off Turbo plus 6 months or free Chromebook while stocks last. And if you need a new phone, our postpaid bundles offer smartphones for just $4. Make back-to-school easy with Flow. Visit discoverflow.co for details.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speed delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch online, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
DBS News.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is expected to be elected unopposed as leader of the Dominican Labour Party on November 10th in Vegas at the party's delegates conference. Mr. Skerrit says that there was no challenge to his leadership at the National Council meeting, which took place in Salibia at the weekend.
Well, yes, I will be, and I have no doubt that I will emerge, and I have no doubt that it will be uncontested. Those who were present at the National Council meeting very well made it very clear on the party's direction at this time. What happens tomorrow or next year, year after next, is a matter for that. But as of the delegates conference coming up, we don't expect to be any contest for the leadership of the party. And people are gearing up for the delegates conference, which will be held in Vegas on November 10th, where there will be an open session. All party supporters and well-wishers are invited to be present. Our guest speaker at our delegates conference will be Honorable Philip J. Pierre, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, will be our guest speaker. And, of course, we'll have a closed session later in the afternoon where there will be resolutions put forth and also elections of officers of the party. In respect to the party leader, we don't expect there to be any contest. There's no vacancy now. The Prime Minister is in place, and of course, at the appropriate time, whenever there'll be a need for a new leader, there'll be a peaceful and seamless transition within the party.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Mr. Skerrit says a review of the party's constitution was among matters discussed at the National Council meeting.
The number of items on the agenda. One, the party had mandated the drafting of a new constitution, and that draft was presented to the National Council, and the National Council directed that there be wider and broader consultation within the party. So there will be a series of consultations that will take place in the next weeks and months across the length and breadth of the country to engage party constituency associations, to engage the youth and women's arms, to engage stalwarts at the national and grassroots level, and to ensure that there is broad consultation on the Constitution. And following which there may be a special National Council meeting to receive the final draft of the new constitution of the party. The second resolution was for the unveiling of a party flag. The party never had a flag, and that was unveiled and ratified by the National Council at the council meeting on Saturday gone. So all in all, I believe that it was a very, very successful. The party's strength has been manifested.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. President of Dominica, Her Excellency Sivani Burton, has issued a new call for greater collaboration between the international community and small island developing states. Her call came this morning as Dominica welcomed a new ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, His Excellency Cornelius Hirschbach.
We are living in very turbulent times which need to be confronted collectively. The impacts of the innumerable challenges that confront us daily, which seeks to threaten our very survival. Dominica remains resolved to working with the Kingdom of the Netherlands and the rest of the global community to resolve those issues of great concern, namely threats to global peace, security triggered by wars and conflicts, the lingering impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, degradation of our ecosystems and loss of biodiversity, poverty, inequality, and the growing challenge of chronic non-communicable diseases, all of which are endangering our sustainable growth and development and peaceful way of life. I do look forward also to our two governments working collaboratively to tackle the global issues of climate change, ocean governance, and the protection of the environment as Dominica continues on its quest in becoming the first climate resilient island in the world.
President of Dominica, Her Excellency Sivani Burton. Meantime, new ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Dominica, His Excellency Cornelius Hirschbach, says Dominica must be applauded for its action against climate change.
Unpredictable weather events and rising sea levels due to the impact of climate change require a commitment to action from all nations, big or small, landlocked, coastal, or island nations. The devastating impact of Hurricane Maria on our countries is a testament to this. The Kingdom of the Netherlands seeks partners to tackle the impact of climate change together, and we are grateful to Dominica for the inspiring vision it has to become the first climate resilient country in the world. I have a couple of thoughts I would like to share. We share intentions in addressing the global challenges of climate change, protecting the environment and ocean governance. We see the need for more strategic engagement between the small island developing states, or better, large ocean states, of which we have 3 in the Kingdom of the Netherlands right here in the Caribbean. We are, you could say, your Caribbean neighbor. And we appreciate and support the pioneering work and leadership of Dominica in bringing these challenges to the attention of the international community. An important juncture for the Kingdom of the Netherlands was the 4th International Conference on SIDS in Antigua and Barbuda in May 2024. The conference was a pivotal moment to determine tangible measures to support SIDS towards the implementation of the Antigua and Barbuda agenda for SIDS over the next 10 years.
New ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Dominica, His Excellency Cornelius Hirschbach. General Manager of the Dominica Cooperative Societies League Limited, Phoenix Belfield, says credit unions play a pivotal role in promoting financial inclusion and unity. His remarks come as the Dominica Credit Union movement is celebrating Credit Union Week from October 13th to 19th under the theme One World Through Cooperative Finance. International Credit Union Day will be celebrated on October 17th, 2024.
As we celebrate Credit Union Week and International Credit Union Day 2024 under the theme One World Through Cooperative Finance, we are reminded of the pivotal role that credit unions play in promoting financial inclusion and unity. This theme reflects our mission to empower communities and to bridge economic divides by offering accessible financial services to all. Through the strength of our cooperative model, we continue to build a world where financial opportunity and security are not just privileges, but rights. Together, we are creating a unified, inclusive financial landscape for the betterment of our members here in Dominica and further afield.
General Manager of the Dominica Cooperative Societies League Limited, Phoenix Belfield. A series of events will be held this week in observance of Credit Union Week on the theme One World Through Cooperative Finance. These activities include educational workshops, financial wellness sessions, and community outreach activities. On Thursday, all credit unions will be closed, and on Friday, the movement celebrates Member Appreciation Day. Dominica has secured $20 million from the People's Republic of China for housing. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says relief will be provided to several Dominicans who have been promised housing.
We've made some promises to some people for the homes, and of course housing, it continues to be a major priority for so many Dominicans. And notwithstanding the fact that we've built thousands of homes in Dominica, and we have retrofitted thousands of homes in Dominica, making them resilient and so forth. But there's still many pockets across Dominica where people are still waiting for homes. There are people who have firm commitments from us. And so I want to say to them that, as I indicated in the Parliament during my budget contribution, that we will be making some money available to continue addressing housing. And I want to say that I will be assigning about $20 million in the next couple of days that will go towards housing and addressing some of the housing needs in various parts of Dominica. Of course, housing is a major source of employment for local contractors. It is a source of revenue for many of the building suppliers, people who sell building materials, blocks and cement and sand and aggregate and lumber and etc. So certainly we will have about $20 million that will go directly into the pockets of local businessmen and local contractors in the next 7 months leading up to Christmas and of course in the New Year. So those monies are available, and of course the Minister for Housing and myself, and we will articulate how we go about appropriating those funds to address the housing situation confronting so many of our people still.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, he says Dominica is grateful to the government of the People's Republic of China for the gift of $20 million.
It is a special gift to us by the President of China, and we want to thank the government and people of China who continue to be such great supporters and well-wishers of Dominica. I mean, they have now 6 schools under construction, at various stages, impacting the lives of so many children and communities across Dominica. And so China continues to be a major benefactor of Dominica, and I'm so grateful to them. I want to thank the China's ambassador and, of course, our own ambassador in China for the efforts in ensuring that those funds arrive in Dominica.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. On the feature segment of the news, we visit the old market to find a carving vendor, John Victorine of Kingshill, Monbros. Carving, where one uses his hand to create items for sale, is a skill that is rare. Victorine developed his skill at Home Industries, and after Hurricane Maria, he was relocated to the old market. Carving vendor John Victorine is our feature on the DBS Evening News.
Well, I used to work at the furniture place at Home Industries, and in spare times I would come do a little vending when work slow. I do that a while until hurricane passed, and then I just workshop smashed down and everybody go on their own. I came back to the market full time.
So you were doing this at you said Home Industries. That's where you were?
From a long time. Mario just put it off.
Why did you decide to branch into this carving?
Well, I have the skills of the carving, and I decided to make it there my workplace, my selling place there. When any carve, I carve anything my mind would come on there.
Give me an idea some of the items you have on display here at the old market.
Okay, I have the Cicero parrot, our national bird. I have some nude, some kissing, the Dominican map, and you'll see some others which I don't even name yet. Yeah, because every time something new come up, I put it there. Sometimes you find some sales, sometimes it's slow. Well, tourism is everybody's business, so I make it part of my business.
But you have to be a very talented person to do the carving, that sort of carving.
Yeah. I am not boasting myself, but I learn well. And I can do some things.
You said you learn well. Who taught you?
Louis Desiree, that's a Haitian guy who used to be teaching at the old mill. I was one of his first students, and I kept till his death. I kept there working, doing things for him. I have to keep what I learn here.
What are sales like? Are you getting people coming to your stall and to buy things every day?
Off and on, especially now off season. Off season we don't find much people coming there, but off and on people pass and say, oh, they know that's where I am now, so they'll come and participate. Well, the final thing is that I love my work. I'll keep on doing it.
And as we head into the new tourism season that should open next week.
Sure, I'm looking forward to the season because we might have something good coming up our way. Ships, more people, we might have something good coming. So I'm working towards that.
Carving vendor John Victorine, and that's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
What's on your back to school checklist? Fast, reliable internet, a free Chromebook, a smartphone. With Flow, you can check everything off your list. Sign up for broadband and get 25% off Turbo plus 6 months or free Chromebook while stocks last. And if you need a new phone, our postpaid bundles offer smartphones for just $4. Make back to school easy with Flow. Visit discoverflow.co for details.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speed the delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch online, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speed the delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
DBS News.
In news from the region, Kenya's police chief has announced that the recently promised 600 extra police officers set to join a UN-backed policing mission to curb gang violence in Haiti should have their boots on the ground by early November. This follows a pledge made by Kenya's President William Ruto after meeting with Haiti's interim Prime Minister Gary Conille. During their discussion, both leaders emphasized the need for greater international support. Kenya, the leading force in the multinational mission aimed at addressing Haiti's escalating insecurity, has already deployed 400 officers to the Caribbean nation. And internationally, Canada and India each expelled 6 diplomats today in a move as part of an escalating dispute over the June 2023 assassination of a Sikh activist in Canada. A senior Canadian government official said that Canada was expelling 6 Indian diplomats, including the High Commissioner, after police uncovered evidence of ongoing violent criminal activity linked to the Indian government. Shortly after, the Indian Foreign Ministry said it was expelling 6 Canadian diplomats, including the acting High Commissioner and the Deputy High Commissioner. It also said in a statement that the diplomats were told to leave India by the end of Saturday. And that's news. Stay tuned for the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Gavin Richards.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Well, good evening. I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Evening Sports Report. Let's bowl off with some cricket news. The president of the Dominica Cricket Association, Clement Masler, is now the new acting president of the Windward Islands Cricket Board of Control. Well, Masler, who served as vice president of the board, is taking over following the resignation of the former president, Dwayne Gill of Grenada. Masler will hold the position until the next elections, constitutionally due in 2025. Masler says it's an honor to hold such a prestigious award.
Subsequent to the resignation of Mr. Dwayne Gill, I was appointed as the acting president for the Windward Islands Cricket Board. I accept this position with great humility and knowing that there is much more work to be done to continue doing everything with a spirit of excellence and looking forward to strengthening Windward Islands' position as it pertains to cricket within the region. So it is a call for greater duty, which I think I'm much more prepared to serve in that capacity.
So Clement, what will be some of the short-term things on your agenda to move Windward's cricket forward? I know that you'll be in the position until 2025, so there's not a lot of time, but what are some of the things that you'll probably be looking to achieve?
Well, the responsibility that I am now charged with would mandate that we ensure that all activities, all efforts are in sync with this overall objective of our strategic plan. And as the president, it is now my duty to ensure that we are able to execute with great efficiency those goals, those objectives. One being strengthening the women's cricket, two, ensuring that we are able to effectively execute our under 15 tournament in December. Also ensuring that our team gives a good showing in the Super 50. Finally, the overall objective is to ensure that the talent which exists within the sub-region is harnessed properly.
And that's the acting president of the Windward Islands Cricket Board, Clement Masler. Well, Masler brings over a decade of experience in project management, technical services consulting and education. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Technical Management from DeVry University and a Master of Science degree in Project Management from Keller Graduate School of Management. He's also, like we said, the president of the Dominica Cricket Association and a Cricket West Indies director. Well, we're staying with cricket as the West Indies women's captain, Hayley Matthews, says the West Indies need to bring the same intensity as they head into tomorrow's crucial match against England in the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. Well, a spot in the semi-finals will be up for grabs when the two teams meet. The West Indies, after losing their first match, they've since won 2 games in a row. Matthews says that she's happy with the way the team has rebounded.
Yeah, I think just our attitude at the crease, wanting to play fearlessly and wanting to take the game to, I guess, the other teams. I think we could have been stuck on the back foot after that first match, but we did want to just throw back the attack and come back at the other teams really well. And I think you can see that through our batting order, the way Kiana Joseph batted in the last match, Deandra Doughton, she's been fiery since she's been back, Chanel Henry even. coming into the lineup. So I think the girls have done a great job of just being able to bounce back and really have that attitude and that fight within them. And I think, look, we're obviously going to try to take that into the next match against England. We know how crucial that is and how big of a match it is, but we want to try to have the same attitude even against better teams as well. I am going to say that I am pleased with when we are playing. I think, obviously, we had it in mind over the last 2 matches, and that's why our girls were so positive, I guess, through those middle overs to get our run rate in a really good position. So, yeah, we're quite happy with the position we've put ourselves in now, and then being able to play that last match, obviously going into it knowing exactly what we have to do, does help. But I think at the same time, we're going to go out there and try to win no matter what.
And that's the West Indies women's captain, Hayley Matthews. So England tops the group with 6 points. South Africa also has 6 points, and the West Indies 4 points. But the winner of tomorrow's match between England and the West Indies will be guaranteed a spot in the semi-finals. That game bowls off at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, Caribbean time. National football captain Glenson Prince says Dominica has to put the disaster from their first game behind them and be prepared to rebound tomorrow. While the national team suffered a heavy 6-1 defeat to Bermuda in their CONCACAF Nations League match on Saturday, the loss has ended Dominica's hopes of qualifying for League A of the CONCACAF Nations League. While the national captain Glenson Prince says it was a tough night on Saturday.
Yes, Gavin, it was a very difficult night for us. At any level that you play at, if you concede 6 goals, a lot of things would have gone wrong for you. And there are things that we need to work on. Of course, defensively, we need to be a lot better from top to bottom. We have to do better. There were a number of positives though. The first few chances of the game, we actually got those chances. Of course, we failed to capitalize on them, but we created a number of chances that on another day the score could have been different. But we just have to do better, but that is football for you. There are times when you play a really good game and you don't get the results, and there are other times when you don't play that much of a great game and you end up getting a positive result. Of course, we've played many matches and we had a lot of ups and downs, and we always tell the players that there has to be a balance. You can't get too high when you're winning, you can't get too low when you're losing, because there's always another game. It's always another game. And so, we're looking at the positives. We have another game in the next couple of days, so we have an opportunity to make amends. But of course, like I said, we have to do better.
And that's national captain Glenson Prince. Well, in other matches from the group on the weekend, the Dominican Republic, they beat Antigua 5-0. So the results are from the weekend. Dominica is now in third place, or still in third place, I should say. The Dominican Republic leads the way with 9 points. Bermuda has 6 points, Dominica 3, and Antigua and Barbuda are yet to get off the mark. They're yet to win a game in League B of the competition. Let's move to some domino news now. Element agencies, combined forces, and Matrix were among the winners in last weekend's round of matches in the National Domino League on the weekend.
In Zone A, Element agencies, combined forces narrowly defeated Golden Arm by 102 points. Golden Arms pulverized Stone Bar by 1,044 points, while Green City was crushed by Matrix by 727 points. Palm Boys edged out Skills by 108 points. Brain demoralized Stone Bar by 1,181 points, and Elite Boy defeated Matrix by 629 points. Palm Boys also erased Eclipse by 214 points in the zone. Zone B, Fish Hunters defeated New Block by 168 points. Dreammakers awoke to a song beating by New Block over 855 points. No Name squeezed West Bridge to win by 60 points in a tight encounter, while Storm blew past Dreammakers by 605 points, and One Love beat No Name by 483 points.
And that's a PRO of the Dominica Domino Association, Martin Anthony Scotland. There were also wins for Baghdad, White City, Valiance, Focus, BNS Stars, One Case and Brigady Stars on the weekend. Let's go back to some football news as Valvoline Way United title hopes suffered another major setback as they were dealt a crushing blow, losing to Tranquility Beach Midland United as the DFA Premier League continued yesterday at the DFA Technical Centre, where We United went down 2-0 to remain 3 points behind the league leaders Central Cooperative Credit Union Dubla FC. Clemson Isaac and Shakiv Gregoire scored the goals for Midland United. The Valvoline United head coach Kenny John Charles was very critical of his players.
Well, Gavin, everybody could see we just didn't play any football. We didn't show up. We didn't play any football. Simple as that. Gavin, all the guys just did not play football. Simple as that. And I guess we have to go back and watch the game again, let everybody see so that they can do their own introspection. We just didn't play football. Giving in comments, nobody taking care of the comments. Sending out information, nobody doing. Everybody was just doing what they want.
How hurting is this defeat, especially at this stage in the season?
Well, it speaks volume, Gavin. Look at the table. It speaks volume. And we always tell ourselves we can't let people do the work for us. We have to do work for ourselves. I'm not one to go and bank on another team. I don't know what the other team going to do. So that's not how we have to play. You have to come every day and execute your plans. What you decide to do and do it.
How can you get the guys to regroup? All is not lost. You still have a few games to play. You can still put some pressure on Dubla.
Well, yeah, I mean, we still can put some pressure on them, and we have to go in and watch the game over, sit down and watch the game over before any training session. And the guys have to really sit down and realize what was happening. We played nothing like what we normally play. Nothing.
And that's Valvoline We United head coach Kenny John Charles. So the loss leaves We United on 28 points with 5 games left in their season, while Dubla, the league leaders, are leading with 31 points with 6 games in hand. Or that should be 6 games remaining in the season. Well, at the other end of the table, Laura, Dorset, Buffett FC, well, they blew a 2-goal lead to go down to the former champion Surgical Southeast last night. Sydney Lockhart, Jostler Prince, Adriel Lawrence and Lewan Leslie got a goal each for Southeast as they won that match 4-2. Crudel Joseph and Christoph Harris scored the goals for Buffett State. That defeat leaves Buffett State in last place in the relegation zone on 11 points with 3 games left in their season. Buffett State, they're currently 1 point behind 9th place Petro Caribe Point Michelle, while Buffett State player coach is Coulson Benjamin.
Well, that's a big loss for us. That's one of the biggest losses in all the games that we lost for the season because we are 1 point behind 9th place. I think we are 4 points, 4 points behind, 5 points behind 8th place. And yeah, with the games coming up, we know it's tough games. We have We United, we have Harlem, we have East Central. We have to try our best to win. Even though it's win at least 2 out of those 3 games, at least for the most.
Coulson, what will be the message to the team moving forward? We noticed after the game there was a bit of a breakdown. I know some guys will have a few days, to calm themselves down. But as the leader of the team, what will be the message to the guys?
Well, it's just to stay focused. We have 3 games, that is 9 points. 9 points will take us to 21 points. No, to 20 points. Actually, we have 11 points to bring us to 20 points. I think 20 points will be safe from the drop. That's just the message to the boys. I mean, it's a tough loss, so emotions are flying here, there, and everywhere. So I expect that from players, but I mean, at the same time, we still have to keep our heads. We still have games to play. We just have to go back to training and see what we can come and do to the next game.
And that's the Buffett State player coach Coulson Benjamin. In other results from the weekend, the Roosevelt Scarlet Bombers picked up 3 valuable points as they look to stay clear of the relegation zone. Davon George got a hat-trick to lead the Bombers to a 4-2 win over Connect 767 Courts Ready Cash East Central. Usher George was also among the scorers for the Bombers, while Rion Coffey and Nathan Newton converted for East Central. The win has moved the Bombers to 18 points in the points table, well clear of Buffett State, who are on 11 points in 10th position. Well, that's where we'll come to the end of the DBS Evening Sports Report. Of course, some more sporting highlights for you tomorrow morning during the DBS Major Morning News. You heard the news, which was brought to you by Leila Langford. I brought you the sports on behalf of the entire news and sports departments. Of course, our links person, DJ Halo Boy. I'm Gavin Richard saying good evening.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening, welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It's the 14th day of October 2024. We begin with the evening edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements. We announce the death of Dave Charlesworth Daru, age 57, of Marigot, who resided in Tortola. He died at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. He was the son of Florence Valmont Smith, better known as Cece of Marigot. He was the father of Dave Jr. in Tortola, Didi and Dahlia Daru in Santo Domingo. He will also be remembered by his sisters, Roma in Guadalupe, Sandra in Dominica, Valda in the United States, and Debbie in Tortola, Aunt Sioma in Guadalupe, brothers Shangla, Clem, Pepper, and Crusoe in Marigot, and Elroy Daru in Corliho. 3 grandchildren, brothers-in-law Renrick in Tortola, McCarthy in Marigot, and Dees in Guadalupe. Sisters-in-law Brenda and May in Corliho, nieces Danelle, Donnelly and Jem of Marigot, Janelle in Antigua, Janelle in Tortola, Alison and Velma in France, and Addie in the United States. Nephews Kelly in the United States, Demoy and Deshoy in Tortola, Junior in Antigua, and Shervani and Junior in Marigot, and Sherwin Stout in Point Michelle. 3 grandnieces, 14 grandnephews including Lesroy Jr. Close friends, Christine Edwards, Doreen Foy, and Maurice in Tortola, Thomas Serra, Junior Charles, Sherlon Honore in Dominica, and the team at Meridian Construction in Tortola, the Daru family in Good Hope, Castle Bruce, and the Kalinago territory, Dr. Girardel, and other nurses and doctors at the dialysis ward, other family and friends in Dominica and Tortola, names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Dave Charles Daru of Marigot, who resided in Tortola, can be viewed from 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday, the 15th of October, at the Wesley Roman Catholic Church. The funeral mass takes place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Wesley Roman Catholic Cemetery. We announce the death of Claudius Buguno, better known as Ellis, age 80, of La Plaine. He was a member of the Northeastern Funeral Association. He died on Sunday, the 15th of September. He was the husband of Helen Buguno. He will also be remembered by his stepchildren, Shirley, Susanna, Joey, Sonny Benjamin. Adopted sons, Tyson Coffey and Hassani Edgar. Sister, Bernadette Diolen. Brothers, Richard, Anthony and Martindale Bogunu, brother-in-law Anthony Joseph, sisters-in-law Rose, Melanie and Clemencia, close friends and neighbors Marvelyn and Francis Edwards, Mayonette Coffee and family, Cynthia, Ivy, Prosper, Peter Matthew and family, Monique Estrado and family, Terry and family, Sylvia Uden, the Austri family, Helios and Emmeline Edwards, Wenslow, Moses, Graham and family, Brother Lawrence, Philip Martin, Cyrilla, staff of the Laplane Health Center, Parish Priest, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, Honorable Cassandra Williams, Mr. Peter Sejan, the Bogunu family in Laplane, numerous relatives and friends here and abroad, names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Claudius Bogunu, better known as Ellis of Laplane, can be viewed from 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday, 16th October at the Laplane Catholic Church. The funeral mass will take place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Laplane Catholic Cemetery. We announce the death of Martha Seaman, age 83 of Viecas. She died on Sunday, 13th October at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. The funeral arrangements of the late Martha Seaman of Viecas will be given in a subsequent announcement. The management and staff of DBS Radio extends deepest condolences to the family of the late Dave Charlesworth Daru, Claudius Bogunu, and Martha Seaman. Let's get straight into your general announcements on the Community Bulletin Board. The public is informed of road closure for blasting operations at the new quarry site in Crapo Hall, Marigot at both directions on Tuesday, 15th October. That's tomorrow between the hours of 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Please be guided accordingly. The Roseau branch of the National Cooperative Credit Union will be closed at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, the 15th of October, and the St. Paul's branch will close at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, the 16th of October, to facilitate a staff training. Please be guided accordingly. There will be a memorial service for the late Ruthine Casimir Henry of Dubla, who resided in Trinidad, on Thursday, 17th October at 3 p.m. at the Dubla Roman Catholic Church. Keep it locked on with us. We have some What's On coming up next. Stay tuned.
Dominica's World Crayon Music Festival 2024, October 25 to 27. Create memories, rejuvenate, exhilarate in excitement, music and dance. Get your ticket now at dominicafestivals.com. Are you ready? Dominica invites the world to celebrate the biggest and most anticipated music festival in the Caribbean. 2024, October 25 to 27 at the Windsor Park Stadium in Roseau. 3 nights, 1 stage, non-stop action. Get your ticket now at dominicafestivals.com. Dominica's World Crayon Music Festival.
We've come to the end of this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. Thank you very much for joining us. The next edition commences tomorrow morning at 6:10 a.m. with the morning edition of your death announcements. And then we continue at approximately 7:40 a.m. after the weather report on DBS Radio with the general announcements and what's on. Don't forget to hear your announcements on DBS Radio, the nation station. Come into the sales and marketing team's office Mondays through Fridays between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also, you can give us a call at 448-3282 or 448-3283. Same times and days mentioned, except holidays. Of course, as we've been saying for the entire afternoon, and of course throughout the day so far, we have the big return. Of course, it's Standards in the Spotlight, right here on DBS Radio, starting back tonight, right here. We're going to be live on the social media pages and social media platforms of DBS Radio with Standards in the Spotlight. That comes up from 7 o'clock right here on your nation station, DBS Radio.
What did I do? Does my ability upset on you? Trotting me down in the dirt. My calypso